Hello, I'm Jeremy. Today I want to talk about Tim Pool mini beanie. He always wears a beanie. That's because his hairline is actually worse than mine, and I guess it bothers him because he's always wearing it. You can find pictures of him with it off. It's like, so what? It happens. Who cares? I don't care. My hair falls out, it falls out. But I was watching this Romanian, and his channel is Roman Romanian TVee, and I think his name is V. That's why he's got the two E's at the end. And he's talking about Tim Pool and kind of a scandal. But before we get into it, if you've been enjoying my content, give it a thumbs up because I really need your help in promoting the channel. Subscribe so you can hear what else that we're going to go over. And I'm going to create a website that's going to deal with lying in a drastic way. It's not going to be perfect, not by any stretch of the imagination, but it's going to make things better. So, Tim, I kept up with Tim. I still watch him. I've been watching him for years. It started with the riots in Chicago where there was a guy who got shot by the police, and CNN reported that the sister was out there trying to put a stop to the riots. And she's there on camera, somebody's filming her. She says something along the lines of, y'all need to stop this, stop burning the place down. And then they cut it. The very next thing she says after they cut it is, take that across 9 Mile and go burn the suburbs because we need our weaves. It was the very next thing she said. They cut it out in between those two sentences. If it was written down on a piece of paper, it would have been cut out mid-paragraph. It wasn't even a separate paragraph. It was ridiculous. It was an outright lie. And it was Tim who reported on this, and it was like, holy crap, what else do I not know? I hate being lied to. And so I started watching him, and man, whenever he is talking about the media and what they're doing, man, he just nails it. It's great. Whenever it comes to policies, it's like, I don't know about that one there, bud. But he's definitely changed his mind with things. So like, he does have guns. And so he was starting up Subverse, and he was having problems from the get-go because Subverse is also the name of an adult game on Steam. And it's, I mean, like, sexual in content in nature, or maybe it was just highly provocative. I don't know how sexual is, adult themed stuff. And so he got into kind of a legal battle with it. I guess they won because he didn't get to keep the Subverse name, and he had Molly and a couple of guys that were doing all this stuff. And I watched some of it, and it was kind of boring. It was kind of just typical news stuff. And what I saw, it was just Molly just sitting there reading stuff. And it was interesting, but I don't care about all this stuff. And even with the stuff with what I'm going over now and with Tim Pool and all these others, I don't care. The only reason why I'm doing this is because I'm going to put a stop to all this, or at least I'm going to clean this up. I'm tired of being lied to, and I want to know kind of what's going on. So actually, I guess whenever I say it aloud and compare it, it's like, yeah, I want it to be more like Subverse in a way. Maybe with a little bit of spin, because I do want to know, well, what's in between the lines. And that was something that they weren't doing on Subverse, but I think that was still good because it's like you do need a solid base to draw your information from. So anyways, apparently did not know this, but the reason why a Subverse hasn't been a thing, and I haven't heard Tim talk about all this because I kind of forgot about it because I was never interested, is that they had a falling out with some guy and with Molly. And it's like, oh, okay. And so I have a link in the description below about this Romanian TV guy, and you can watch it all there, and he goes over an article. And so I wanted to clarify with a few things. One of them is that people seem to not understand what cops do. Cops are not there to handle all your little crying baby disputes. They're not lawyers. They did not go to law school. They went to the police academy. And so that's why cops deal with criminal issues and you go to court over civil matters. So she can call the police all that she wants to. This is a he said, she said thing. You got to take that to court because people make stuff up all the time. And that's why we have this separation. That's why you can cry to the cops all that you want to. If it's something that they just don't know because they're not lawyers, then you go to court. That's exactly what happened here. And so apparently he did have the cat, according to the article, and that he gave it over to a pound or something or a shelter, and then she came and got it, and it's like, could he hold it? And it's like, yes, actually, maybe. Because part of it was that she was worried about some footage that she had being taken by Tim, and it's like, wrong. Being returned to Tim. He was paying you. Chances are that was his equipment. He paid for your trip. You were an employee of his. That is his. And so can he be compensated for that stuff if it doesn't get returned? Yes, absolutely. So, well, in the U.S., yes. And exactly how that works in each state, for the most part, yes. Because I have friends, for example, who are landlords, and they talk about this stuff, and I have some personal dealings with all this. And it's like, yes, if you are not paying rent, for example, that your stuff can be, it depends. It's technical, but again, this is why you go to court. And so did Tim do it exactly right? It's like, yes, absolutely, because even the cops can lie to you. They can lie. Trying to watch my use of profanity. They can lie to you about anything in order to get the truth. That doesn't mean that they can follow up with it, but they can definitely lie to you. It's like, do I agree with that? It's like, I don't know. Because is there a time whenever lying is good? So there was that movie 300, and with the History Channel, they were talking about the historical realities that really happened. And one of them was that they knew that the attack was coming, and they knew well in advance, and the people didn't believe it. And so the politicians lied, and they said, oh yeah, there's nothing wrong, let's build up the merchant fleet. And then whenever the attack did come, because it came by C2, they just converted the merchant fleet over into a war fleet. So like, was that a case where lying was bad? It's like, doesn't sound like it. So anyways, I don't like that this is news. I don't care. I don't care what's going on with Tim or Molly or with that other guy. Why is this even a thing? I have better things to do with my life. Let that be handled in the court. And if there's really some kind of true injustice going on, then fine. And another thing is that it's like 40% of marriages happen at the workplace. So was there also some kind of romance going on between him and Molly? It's like, well, maybe he's talked about how he's lonely before, and that he has had a hard time finding a girl because they're usually ambitious and they're wanting to work themselves. And it's like, if you're both working, how do you make all that work? And so I would not be surprised, at the least, if something was going on between them, because it looked like she was an attractive girl. She definitely wasn't overweight. She was doing something. And so, and I think they're about the same age. They're both a couple of younger folks there. And it's like, it's kind of I wonder if this wasn't Tim Pool's company and his thing, and it was something like they were working for CNN, what other kind of allegations were kind of in there? Because it seems like they're both a little at fault. You know, Tim for kind of holding the cat. I wouldn't say that's too big of a deal. But Molly holding the footage, it's like, yes, you need to return everything that belongs to him. You worked for him. This is your place of employment. You can't have that any more than you could just go in there and take the computer. Oh, that's my footage. It's like, no, it's not. Just because you're the one that did it doesn't mean anything. You were under his employment. You know, so it's like, no, absolutely not. So yeah, Tim should have done this, and yes. So if you like all this, hit the subscribe button. So before I close out, it looks like all this is going pretty well. I've just started off, and I'm already with a couple of hundred views, even though I have a few. If you are on BitChute, you get all my content on one channel. If you are on YouTube or Rumble, I have two different channels. I have freedom of expression and I have focused practical improvement. I'm having problems with Rumble uploading all of my video content. So if you're on there, you might have to be forced to go over to YouTube to catch up on some of these things, because I don't know if I want to upload them, because the first videos were, I've made small little changes that they're a little bit better right now, and I would rather do new content, because with the new content I would put that up on all 3 sites. If I was just uploading to Rumble, it's just that one, and then the other 2 channels are missing out. So I don't think I'll be doing any of that. I did do that though. I do care more about Jordan Peterson and his 12 rules for life, and so I will redo those. I will make sure that those get all put up. It's because this is what started it all, was me trying to do my personal development, and I found out that I could monetize it and help everyone out by sharing with it, because it's not like there with freedom of expression. It's based more off of, I want facts and evidence and show me some real proof. But with personal development, it's more an individual thing. I can't help you as well because I don't know you. I don't know what your education was like. I don't know what your family life was like. Brothers, sisters, bullying, whatever, you name it. There's a billion different things that make you you. So all I can do is just share in this, and hopefully you're able to take something out of it, and that'll be great. So, because it's like, my childhood and growing up was trash. My dad didn't even bother to try. Didn't even bother. And that's what I have a problem with. What about your parents? If they tried, it's like, yeah, don't expect them to be perfect. I don't think anyone's ever put it together in the way that I'm looking to do it, to help out with this stuff. So an example that I've been giving recently is that it's virtue signaling to say, oh, well, child of mine, if you're having some kind of problem or issue, you can always come and talk to me. It's like, they don't know. I mean, just take it from when they're a baby. If you were to say that to your child and they're a baby, they're just going to poop and laugh and not know what you're talking about. You have to tell them that no, pooping in your diaper is wrong. We're going to get you potty trained, and you go through that whole thing. And that's the way it is for everything. School doesn't cover it all. You say, hey, come here, kid. It's time to eat. Sit down. We're going to eat. Tell me about your day. You know, did you have any problems sleeping last night? You know, what about getting up? How was the ride to school, you know, with your mom or me or whatever? Then what happened during class? And you go over their day. And you fill in all the blanks. Oh, this is what happened. Oh, no, don't do that. I don't know what that kid was thinking, but don't do that. Or, oh, no, hey, that was pretty good. Hey, that sounds like that's someone that should be your friend, because it matters who your friends are. So, and you can't choose your parents, but you can choose your friends. You can choose your spouse. So that's all I have for right now. Make more videos, because this is what I'm doing, and I'm going full steam with it. So thanks a lot for your support. Up. Thanks a lot.